Hi, beautiful souls. Welcome to the Matrix Study Hall. I am Miss Oracle. Go ahead and like and subscribe, y'all. Show some manner, show some love here. And again, thanks for all of you that are part of this platform. Okay, we're at 100K, y'all, and I couldn't have gotten here without you. Yeah, I said it. We are at 100K, speaking into existence. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this article. This is from understandingai.org. And I want to touch on this in regarding to these Waymos, these driverless taxis or robo taxis. And to me, as more and more I'm seeing these things around and I see people and actually inside of them, and they're a bit distraught because it's either going the wrong direction.
They know you. I'm not gonna beg you to listen to me. You ain't got to worry about me wasting no more time on you.
I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing.
You must listen. What I'm about to tell you will change the course of history.
Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
I'm not draining myself. And that's what y'all ass don't get, cause
you're in the Matrix and you need to get out.
Is in the middle of traffic and they're calling customer service frantically trying to get help. And so now they're trying to premiere these in even more cities, and I find it quite questionable, especially because it competes with the other ride shares and people that are actually out here and trying to make it a living through gig work, and they are kind of being marginalized out of the system with these Waymos. So they're trying to just, I guess, cut corners with technology, but you need a sentient being when you're actually taking care of actual sentient human beings. So let's go ahead and read this. It says, very few of Waymo's most serious crashes were Waymo's fault. I looked at 45 major Waymo crashes. Most were human error. Okay, this is what they're saying. Everything was fine until the wheel came off. So it says, I'm not going to read the entire article. It's pretty lengthy, and I will include it in here if you want to breeze through it. Now I'm just going to read some of it. It says, among the 45 most serious crashes Waymo experienced in recent months, this was arguably the crash that was most clearly Waymo's fault, and it was a mechanical failure, not an error by Waymo's self-driving software. Okay, on Tuesday, Waymo released new safety statistics for its fleet of self-driving cars. Waymo had completed 96 million miles of driving through June. The company estimates that its vehicles were involved in far fewer crashes than you expect of human drivers in the same locations and traffic conditions. Waymo estimates that typical human drivers would have gotten into airbag trigger crashes 159 times over 96 million miles in the cities where Waymo operates. Waymo, in contrast, got into only 34 airbag crashes, a 79% reduction. This article basically is like an advocate for Waymo. However, although they're trying to say as if there's far fewer crashes with Waymo than actual humans actually driving, look, I would really think differently about all of that. I even saw this one, the death of Elaine Herzberg, and she was the first recorded case of a pedestrian fatality involving a self-driving car after the collision that occurred late in the evening on March 18, 2018, which happened in Arizona. And I saw a lot of those in Arizona that seem to be pretty popular there. All right, let's go to a few more articles here. This one is from the State Press, and it says, motorcyclist dead after accident involving a Waymo near Tempe campus. Tempe Police Department is investigating the accident, which involved a Waymo motorcycle and third vehicle. Now this one is from the Bay Area, San Francisco. While Waymo not blamed in multi-car wreck, it's the first fatal collision involving a driverless car. This is a news article in regarding to this. So it must have a really big push in regards to Waymo, because although there are a lot of accidents being reported, they're not wanting to accept the blame that is by this driverless car. And it says Waymo's co-CEO says society will accept a death caused by one of her company's robotaxis. So Waymo's CEO, Takedra Mawakona, said that the company keeps its safety records available to the public and challenged other autonomous vehicle companies to do the same. Okay, so this is kind of like a call for transparency. It says, will society accept that? Will society accept a death potentially caused by a robot? There should not be a death at all going on. But I digress. It says, I think the challenge for us is making sure that society has a high enough bar on safety that companies are held to. And this is the CEO of Waymo. Why the CEO got to be a black woman? They're going to blame the crap out of her for all this. Driverless cab and taking away the jobs from people that are actually doing ride share and taxis like Uber and other Lyft. I've seen so many articles. This one is Waymo confirms vehicles roll in death of 16th Street bodega cat as mourning continues. Wow. And so back to this whole stance that this CEO, co-CEO of Waymo is saying that this article says Waymo CEO sparks backlash by saying she thinks society will accept a death caused by a robot. So it's like they're trying to put it out there that this is inevitable. I mean, this is strange to me. And also for her to be kind of the face that they put out in front of all this. So I'm going to read some of this commentary from Comic Sans. And it says, in 2009, Waymo introduced its first fleet of driverless cars, sleep pods equipped with sensors, AI, and a Sense Solve Go system designed to navigate roads autonomously without human input. According to the company, its robotaxis now experience 91% fewer crashes and 91% fewer serious injuries than human drivers over the same distances. But even as Waymo brags about its spotless stats, co-CEO Takedra Mawakona is already bracing for the inevitable, the first fatality caused by one of its cars, and she thinks society will accept it. She stated, saying, we really worry as a company about those days. We don't say whether, we say when, and we plan for them. Oh, yes, the classic Silicon Valley pep talk. Innovate, disrupt, and maybe unalive someone along the way. The comment was startlingly blunt, but the logic is tough to dispute. If Waymo's cars are truly safer than human drivers, then statistically, fewer people die overall. Squint a little, take a shot of tequila, and suddenly the moral math looks almost reasonable, body count and all. She also stated, saying, I think the challenge for us is making sure that society has a high enough bar on safety then companies are held to. And yes, nothing like a little moral outsourcing to get the public on board. So that was the commentary from her. And again, this is another article from Daily Mail. In regarding to this, it says boss of Google's self-driving car company makes a dystopian statement about the vehicles killing people. And there you have it, y'all. Let me save this image. And I've covered this already, but I'm going to read a little bit of what it says. That Waymo co-CEO Takedra Mawakona discussed the potential for a deadly crash during a Monday panel at TechCrunch's annual conference in San Francisco. She explained that although self-driving vehicles reduce traffic crashes by roughly 90%, they do not completely eliminate them. And she says, we have to be open and honest dialogue about the fact that we know it's not perfection. So it's definitely a very dystopian type of stance to take. And I mentioned this earlier, how this man was in a self-driving vehicle and it just kind of lost control. Let's read a few comments from here, shall we? Stock area date, London, UK says, headline of the future, 105-year-old run over. The article goes on to read, it has been years since anyone has been killed by an automobile. Ever since AI and autonomous driving vehicles have been on the road, the accident rate has decreased significantly, but it wasn't long to go that naysayers were against autonomous vehicles, saying they should be banned from the state and make residents feel unsafe. Someone is making fun at her name. That's a name. I know it all from London. It says, I never bought something advertised on Google. Internet ads are scams. Barbara Jones from London, UK says, bad idea. C. Diller says, duh. Al Coho says, DEI idiot. Wow. Carbinus1 from London says, so will the guilty Waymo vehicle be euthanized so it can't kill again? Wow, so that's some definitely interesting commentary, y'all. What do you think about all of this? Let's talk about it in the comments below. Stay awake to the Matrix.